Kia ora, everybody! My name's Ro, and I hope to be your favorite transbian auntie. Today, I bet you can guess what we're going to talk about. I went and saw the new movie, and it was superb. This, in my opinion, is the best Superman movie since Christopher Reeves, Superman 2. And that was 80, 81. I didn't look that up before I started filming. So we're talking 40 years. I don't think we've had this good a Superman movie, at least in live action. DC's animated work has always been very, very good, but most people don't see that, and that's a shame, honestly. Uh, anyway, this movie was great. So, if you would like to walk along with me for some spoiler free opinions, do come along. We'll start right at the top. You saw Crypto in the trailer, right? The little scene where Superman's in rough shape and he whistles for Crypto. That was in the trailer. That's the first scene of the movie. Crypto is not a background piece. He's relevant at multiple times throughout the film, and that was the first thing that really made me very happy. You don't see Crypto get a lot of rep. Uh, Great. He was great to see on screen. The We'll call them the supporting normal cast, as in not superheroes. So your Daily Planet crew and Ma and Pa Kent. The Kents were very well acted. They usually are. I might say that Ma Kent is a little uh, behind on technology for where she probably should be as someone alive in 2025 and still an actively aged person. But that's really just, there are people that just never take to tech. So that's fine. It's really not important to the movie. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. Um, Pa Kent does a very good job. The Daily Planet crew, aside from Lois, are mostly background. Jimmy has more significance in the movie than any of the others. They all hit their character archetypes appropriately. Perry's got that cigar sticking out of his mouth. Cat Grant is dramatically overdressed to be in the newsroom. That sportscaster guy is there, kind of acting like a washed up 30-year-old guy. But they do a good job. Jimmy has, like I said, a little more relevance to the movie, and he's played well. Lois comes off as a very strong character, and we always want to see that. I the My biggest compliment from the Snyderverse would probably be Lois figuring out who Superman was, just on her own, tracking down the stories of him being Superman all around the world. I really did like that detail of the Snyderverse movies. Here, we clearly had Clark tell Lois, which is how it usually goes. Um, Lois is very important throughout the story, as well as she should be. Lex Luthor is done very, very well. Um, I can't remember the actor's name. He played Renfield in that Renfield movie. He was Beast in the latest batch of X-Men movies. He does a pretty good job as Lex Luthor. They really they don't hide the fact that Lex is an absolute sociopath in this movie, right? Usually they kind of give him that um, respectable veneer, even when he's doing his villain stuff, where nobody can see him. He's still trying to be as minimally evil as possible. Yeah, we're not really about that for this Lex. He does some things that are just uh, there's no moral gray zone, which is where Lex Luthor often operates. Some of the things he does are just evil, right? And I think that's about the bulk of the non superhumans that are relevant to the story. So, the other superheroes that we have. On the bad guys side, we do see version of the engineer. She's done pretty well. And there's another character who's, I don't know, he's in the opening scene of the movie. He's some big armored dude. He put Superman in that position where you see him all beat up. There's very, very little characterization for this guy. He's there to hit Superman very hard, right? And those are pretty much your bad guys. And the other good guys that we see, and again, I'm pretty sure all three of these characters were visible in one or two of the trailers. We have Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, who does a superb job. Guy Gardner is a hero. He is a good aligned person. But always remember, good alignment does not mean nice. Guy Gardner's a dick. And he comes across that way in this film. Like, yeah, he's doing the hero thing, but he's always that dick that Guy Gardner is supposed to be. And there are a few elements through here that are very, very Guy Gardner. So that was a very good performance. Hawkgirl, I don't know the actress's name. And we have the human doing reincarnations over and over again version of Hawkgirl. That's fine. That's what the director, the writer chose. I grew up in the 90s with the Justice League cartoon, which means my Hawkgirl is an alien badass from the planet Thanagar. We didn't have that in this movie, and that's fine. She's a great character. A lot of chemistry on screen between her and Guy Gardner and the third hero, Mr. Terrific. I only got to know Mr. Terrific from the Arrow show. I've learned a little bit more about him since, and he's a really cool character. I also appreciate the not so subtle piece that the smartest guy in the room is a black man, right? We're not shying away from having a multi-ethnic cast and showing a diversity of skill sets across those ethnicities. And I like that. And I like Mr. Terrific over Cyborg in this role because Cyborg's tech aspects are a thing that happened to him, right? That's not something that he learned. He's only so good with tech because there's an alien artificial intelligence attached to his body. So I like that. We're just saying, hey, this is a black man of incredible intellect, and he's here to kick ass. And he does. He's very important throughout the movie, which I think is an excellent thing to do. And I guess that pretty much brings us to the Boy Scout, Big Blue, Superman. This is such a good presentation of Superman. He is wholesome. He is just good. Like there's a big struggle in the middle of the movie over, the public debating Superman's actions. And just over and over again, he's talking to Lois about it. This isn't really a spoiler, I don't think, from the movie or from Superman's character. But over and over again, his only point is people were going to die. He doesn't care about whatever political ramifications or public opinion spectacle gets made out of it. People were going to die, and Superman stopped it. That's Superman. That's who he is. And I think it's really done very well. Now, I will add one final bit here. I saw someone grumble that they don't want this to be too pro-immigrant or too heavy-handed. Bro, Superman is the ultimate immigrant. He's from off-planet even. And he's not trying to defend America. He is trying to defend humanity. And that's a big difference. Now, I'm going to cut here before 10 minutes so I can put it up on TikTok. I can talk more about the movie if people would like that, but I encourage everyone to go see it. And until we meet again, everybody stay safe out there and much love. Bye.